Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're going to take a look at what special blessing is going to come onto your path within the next 7 days, okay? And we'll see how this special blessing from the spirit, from the universe, is going to impact your energy, how it may help you to eliminate some obstacles or blocks on your path, and also how you can use this energy or this special gift in order to get closer to what it is that you are trying to bring in for yourself. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look first at what your gift is. All right. Oh my goodness. You have the energy of ambition. Okay. So you have this greater sense of ambition that is going to come in. Now, we just had the full moon in Aquarius, right? So that full moon helped to clear out or helped you to find the clarity in something that may be holding you back, whether it's a mindset, a person, a situation, or something. And it's a kind of allowing you to be more ambitious. When we clear out things that are holding us back, it's kind of like letting go of an anchor, right? It allows us to move forward much more quickly. So let's see how this is going to impact your, your energy. Yeah, you have Voyage of the Heart. It says love flows through you and to you. And you have hope. Out of darkness comes light. You know, this is really the energy of finally having the ambition, the drive, the motivation, the inspiration to go after something that is near and dear to your heart. Perhaps something that you have been dreaming of for a while, and yet at the same time, you didn't have like the energy for it, right? It's kind of like, well, you know, I would go after that, but I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the resources. A lot of times we make up excuses, right? Because we don't want our heart to be broken. This is the energy of kind of having a new, fresher look to the situation and saying, you know what? I'm starting to see the light. This may be something that even a dream that you kept in the dark, you didn't even share your wish or dream with anybody because it was like, well, I don't want to share my dream and then have it not come true, right? So it's kind of like, I don't want to publicize what it is that I want and then publicly also not to receive what it is that I want. This is something that's near and dear to your heart. It could be a new romantic partner. It could be a new friend, a dear friend that you want to join you on the path. It could be the job of your dreams. It could be the opportunity to start your own business or buy your home that you have been wanting for some time. This is something that you have literally been dreaming of for some time. And yet at the same time, it's kind of like it just wasn't coming into fruition for you, right? I feel like there's something here that you had to take action on, and that's why this gift of ambition, right? This extra sense of energy to go after what it is that you want. If you think about it, right? That's what ambition is. It's the energy to go after what our heart is truly desiring. This is you stepping into your Empress energy, going deep into your heart and saying, you know what? I really want this. I really and truly want this. Whether it's a new job, your own business, a new home, a companion on your path. It's like, this is what I really and truly want. You're digging deep. You're allowing yourself to see that maybe you've only been observing your dream from afar, right? Instead of really allowing yourself to go after it. And a lot of times we really do, I'll say I do it myself, right? We hold ourselves back from putting the time and energy into something because we don't want our heart to be broken. And I feel like there's part of you where your heart has been broken. You know, you may have gotten really close. Like say you're wanting a promotion and you've gotten really close. Like maybe there were 5 people up in line for the promotion and you became one of the final 2. And you really and truly thought, this is the time I'm going to get the promotion. and then the other person got the promotion, right? It's almost that energy where you've been here a little bit before. Maybe you found the dream home, right? And you put the offer on it. Maybe you even got to the point where you signed the contract, but then the bank said no to the loan. Or you found out something disappointing about the house and you had to pull out of the contract. There's something here where I feel like you've been super close to this before, and yet at the same time didn't have whatever it was needed in order to cross the finish line. This is you allowing yourself to have the strength to dig deep. You know, maybe what you're doing is allowing yourself, maybe with the full moon, right? Maybe it's a little bit about finding that clarity, that when you were up for that promotion, that you didn't really promote yourself enough. Perhaps there were interviews, right, for that promotion. And instead of going in with all of your courage and allowing yourself to, in a very loving way, kind of share all of your expertise, all of your how you have helped the company to grow, what your dream is for the company as you move forward in this higher position, right? Maybe there was a romantic person that you were involved in, but you allowed your fears of being emotionally intimate with somebody close down your heart. And instead of having that conversation with them about that, you were trying to be more communicative, right? You instead allowed your heart to kind of like close the door to that relationship. I think that this is part of it, Gemini, right? Is kind of like seeing this realization that you've been to this kind of maybe finish line before, but never could cross it because there was part of you that didn't really and truly believe that you could cross the line, that you could get the promotion, you could get the house, right? It's almost like understanding. You know, maybe you found that perfect house and the bank said no to the loan. And instead of saying, okay, that's fine, I'll go to another bank. Or maybe the bank said, well, your credit score is a little funky, right? You had this late payment, so your credit score is too low. We can't give you the loan, or the loan at the interest rate that you want. And then instead of investigating what was, you know, this wonky thing on your credit score and going and getting that cleaned up and going back to the bank and saying, okay, yeah, they dismissed that. That was, you know, a mistake or whatever. It's kind of like you just walked away from the bank. There's this energy here, Gemini, asking yourself, did you walk away from crossing the finish line before? Is the situation, okay, that you are really and truly wanting, whether it's a romantic partner or a job, a house, whatever it is, did you get really close before, but then you couldn't like pull the trigger, right? You couldn't allow yourself to actually have the courage to cross the line, to do what it maybe took in order to get yourself across the line. It's, you know, the Olympics were on recently, and, you know, so many of those track races, right? There's somebody in the lead, not all of them, but a lot of them. Somebody is in the lead, and then somebody comes up from behind and wins the race. I feel like maybe that's what's happened to you before. Maybe you were the person in the lead, and then you didn't give it your all at the very end, perhaps. And somebody crossed the finish line before you, right? They came up from behind. This is the energy of I'm not giving up until I cross the line. I'm not giving up until I realize my dream. This is understanding too, that you know that it's going to happen. That literally out of the blue, because it says out of the darkness comes light. Literally out of the blue, out of the darkness, right, comes this beautiful light, comes this spurt of energy, this new idea of how you can get across the finish line. And, you know, I'm going to say you have the 10 of Cups here. It's taking action on what it is that your heart truly desires. It's almost like realizing that maybe when you were getting close to the finish line before, you just pulled back your energy a little bit. It was kind of like a hesitation. Is this really what I want? Am I really ready for this? This is big, right? This is like understanding you are truly stepping into a new world. And there's part of you that has a little bit of trepidation. Is that, am I really ready for this change? Am I really ready to step into this new world? You are. And the cool thing about this is that this is what you have been hoping for, praying for, right? Almost kind of like staying patient, waiting for. And at the very end, as you're getting closer and closer to the finish line, you may be getting a little bit more, oh my goodness, I don't know, is this really going to happen? You may have those butterflies and be saying, I think it's going to happen, but I'm not really sure. Do not, do not question, right? That maybe is what happened in the past, is that when you started seeing the finish line, you may have said, oh my goodness, is this really going to happen? And that energetically pulled your energy down. This is the energy of, I see the finish line and I'm going for the finish line, right? Yeah, this is you really and truly deciding what is it that you want and taking back your power. It's going for it. The Emperor does not give up. This is the energy of, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up until I cross the finish line. And you're doing it with love. You know, the Knight of Cups here, I really do like this. For some of you, this could have something to do with a romantic relationship, or maybe even the energy of, you know, a family situation, okay? I am going to, that's not going to resonate for everybody. But for some of you, this is the energy of a relationship that maybe has gotten close to either reconciling or being committed, right? It's kind of like maybe you've been dating for a long time, but you never got engaged, right? Or maybe you've been engaged for a long time, but the wedding never happens, right? This is the energy of understanding. Okay, if this is really the relationship that I want, if this is really the healing, because we have the Star card here, right? With the Ten of Cups. It's the energy of, if I really want this relationship, if this person really means that much to me, I can't hold back my feelings, my emotions, my truth. This is the energy of stepping in and saying, you know what, this is how I really feel about you. And part of it is maybe you haven't allowed yourself to say that because you're fearful of what the person, how the person may respond. You may finally find out that they really don't want to be committed to you. Or you may find out that, you know, it's at the end of the road. That energy is not here, right? But it's your fear that it could be at the end of the road. Or they don't want the same thing that you do. This is really and truly you stepping into your power and realizing that whether they feel the same about you or not, it's time for you to have that information so that you can choose the path that is really right for you. This is you having the strength to say to yourself, I have the courage to face whatever the truth is here. Because depending on this truth, I think that is what helps you to decide where you want to put your time and energy. Do you want to put any more time and energy into this relationship? If they're feeling the same way you are, I think the relationship goes all the way, right? You have the Ten of Cups here. It's like, yes, we're on the same page. We're going in the same direction. And if you find out that they don't, right, it's kind of like, that's okay too. I think you're really ready for that, whatever the answer is. It's kind of like you'd rather know so that you can make a clear decision about what it is that you want for yourself next. This sense of ambition, right, is helping you to understand that what you're really wanting, even if it's a romantic partner and you're trying to figure out what this, you know, how this other person feels, it's understanding that you want a deep, connected, emotionally intimate relationship with somebody else. There's something that you are really and truly wanting, and you're okay if it's not this person. It may be painful in the short term, but in the long term, you're understanding it's time for me to then have the courage, the ambition to go towards what it is that my heart truly desires. Wow, powerful energy here. All right, Gemini. Wow. Okay, so let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, how can I be more kind to myself and offer more grace in this very moment? Yeah, for some of you, you could be having this clarity about understanding that you're the one that's holding yourself back from what it is that you truly desire, right? Sometimes when we come into that clarity, then we're like, oh my goodness, I've wasted so much time, or why didn't I do this earlier? But understanding that you probably in some way weren't really ready to step onto this new stage, step into this path. There was still some healing that needed to be done, right? You needed to get really grounded and understand who you are and what it is that you really want as you move forward on your path. You needed some time to imagine, right, the next chapter. And it's okay. You know, it's kind of like, I remember when my daughter she has 2 older brothers and they loved roller coasters, right? And it was kind of like she was at the age where she could start riding the roller coasters, and she was really kind of scared, right? I totally understand. I'm not a roller coaster rider. So, you know, one of the things that I did was I said, okay, let's go ride all of the kind of the baby rides. Let's ride the baby rides. And okay, let's go ride the medium rides. And then, you know, she even got in line for the first big roller coaster, right? And she got all the way to the front and then she bailed, right? And I was like, that's okay. That's okay. It's not yet time. You're not yet quite ready, right? And she watched the roller coaster and she got back in line, and then she finally rode the roller coaster, right? It's kind of like understanding. Sometimes having the courage to step out of our comfort zone, to be able to speak our truth, right? To tell somebody else how we feel, to really go after what it is that we want, takes a lot of courage. And if you've been heartbroken before, disappointed in how things have turned out, sometimes it takes even more courage. It's taking those baby steps. It's riding the baby rides first, right? Then the medium rides, standing in line and bailing out, and then finally having the courage to say something, to speak your truth, to say out loud, this is what I want and I'm ready for it. Yes, I love this energy for you. It says, growing our self-love is medicine to this world's broken heart. When you heal, we all heal. And when you give yourself more grace, you are able to give the world more grace. So give yourself grace, Gemini. You've been on this journey for a long time. You're ready for this, right? Don't worry about how many times you may have bailed on yourself before. This time, you have the ambition, the courage, the love, the hope to go after what it is your heart truly desires. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Gemini. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.